Good Sunday morning, everybody. Good Sunday morning. Welcome to Sunday with Spirit. For those joining for the first time, this is not a political poll, it's a spiritual poll. Every Sunday we get together and we jump up and down, we sing, we dance on this thing that we call the web of creation. And I've been thinking a lot about this web of creation. Thinking a lot about creator, the creatrix, the creator of creators. Because I believe that we, with our dance on this web, are creating a vibration that can manifest into the 3D world. Yes? So we put our intentions out there to manifest on this 3D platform that we find ourselves in, that we signed up for. I hear some of you going, what? I don't know if I really signed up for this. All right, so what do I have here? This is this the last Sunday of 2025 for us? The last Sunday with Spirit? It may be. I am kind of lost in my calendar days. But this is going to be, this is recorded on Saturday, which we just ended the new moon, and we're going into the winter solstice this week, and then we have all the man-made holidays in between. And this is a time for me, as I think on this, to reflect back on the year, where I've come from, where I am going, what is still being attached to me, some of my belief system that no longer serves me now, and the belief system that I want to embrace as I go forward. So today what I want to do, this is not about me anymore. This is about us. This is about the community, the circle that we have. And there is, even though this card is in the center, I don't know if there is a center. It just fit better because it's such a big card. And not like it's a powerful card. It may be, we'll see. It is just physically big. So that's where it fit. But as we look at this new moon cycle, as we look at this week where we are going to be hopefully finding ourselves in a lot of joy, and I know a lot of people feel really sadness here. So what I'd like to do is just pick a couple of cards that you think may resonate with you. And you can do it before we flip them, or you can do it after we flip them. There's no judgment. There's no, hey, I want this card instead. Yeah, take it. So let's see. What I have is the circular moonish type energy spread, I guess. I don't know. At the top, what we have is herbal astrology. We have our angels and ancestor, the Lakota Sweat Lodge, and we got a double version, 2 cards for that. We have our dark mirror. I thought, yeah, let's look at something we should let go of. And embrace. Let it go and embrace. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. I don't think I need you anymore. Let it go or embrace it more. We have the Work Your Light, and we got a double card on that as well, and the Starseed Oracle. And then in the center, Ancestral Path Tarot. So there is no order to this at all. We're just going to see what this spread brings to us for our new moon. And there are rituals that we can do in this new moon of embracing letting go. And you can look all that up on the internet to see what serves you, or just make one up. What do you want to let go of? What do we want to embrace? Certainly there's a lot of things I want to let go of that came about this year. And maybe there's a higher purpose to embrace. And we're all feeling this charge. We are all, so many of us are stepping up and stepping into our power, our awareness, our stepping out of our 3D lives and moving into a higher dimensional frequency that is bringing more joy. All right, so I'm just going to start off with the top. This is the Herbal Astrology card. It's time for a little chamomile. Inner peace. I think I want to embrace a little bit of that inner peace. The other day, and I talk about this a little bit, about how Christmas spirit brings out the evil driver side of people. So I had some guy yell at me in the parking lot. And you know, what did I do in my inner peace moment? I screamed right back at him. And so I'm thinking, this morning I'm thinking, there has got to have been a better response from me. But I just screamed right back at him. I'm like, come on. And so I was all anxious and twittered. I'm like, come on. Drink a little chamomile before you get into the shopping parking lot. And, you know, we have to realize, too, that this whole shopping thing is a 3D construct so that people and card manufacturers can make more money. And it's a good gesture to offer a gift, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're buying something new to give them, unless it's a new Lamborghini. Then I accept. I don't want your old Lamborghini. Okay, sorry, squirrel. Let's move on to angels and ancestors. Should we go in a circle? Maybe. Let's do that. Hermit. Oh, looky there. Retreat and recharge. Okay, right? There is so much going on in our lives. And at this particular time, it seems to be even more demanding. Family members, neighbors, people in need. There just seems to be so much that we are being bombarded with. And it's time to step back a little bit. Get into our quiet space. Retreat and recharge. And the double, we got double. This is from the Lakota Sweat Lodge. And we have fires. Fires. So last Friday's rambling, we were talking about the big winds in Colorado and that they could spark fires. And when I think of this, the wildfires that we are experiencing throughout the world, and then even take it to, it's like a huge destruction that happens really quickly. And there's a lot of things that are no longer recognizable as we see them. And yet from that fire and from the heat, there are certain things that survive, and there are certain things that need that fire to open up their seeds. The redwood trees are an example of that. They need the heat to open up the seed pods, the pine cones. And I'm not sure if I have that term correctly. Do redwoods have pine cones? I don't know. We can go down the rabbit hole there. But this is a cleansing fire. This is a destruction. This is something that is needed at this time. A lot of the indigenous keepers would have controlled burns. They understood the need to burn things away so that new things can grow. And the second card that we got with this, thank you, is Morning Star. Wow. I got even choked up even saying that. When we wake up in the morning and look at before the sun rises, a lot of times, especially these days when the days are so short and the nights are so long, a lot of times I'll wake up and it's still dark, which is, I like to wake up with the sun, but I'll go outside with some coffee and I'll do some morning meditations, and I see the sunrise and I go, there's new light on the horizon. It's coming. And it's that same thing with the fire. We have new light, new awareness coming. We see that with the three-eye atlas, a new awareness. It came from deep, deep space, and it spun around, and another thing in this time that we're still feeling the effects of. What was that thing that came around and spun around? Where did it come from? What is it doing? Is it giving us an energy upgrade? There's a lot of hopium attached to that. And some people go, it's just a rock. Well, if you want it to be a rock, I want it to be a morning star. I want it to be new hope. The Dark Mirror card. Oh boy, get ready. Oof. Yikes. Revenge. All right, so when we look at the Dark Mirror card, this is a mirror reflection of ourselves. And it asks us to, well, I look at, she's got two swords, and one is glowing. One has the light shining off of it. So, oops, sorry, am I showing that right? So it may be the sword of truth, but what does that mean to you? This sword that is reflecting light back, and then the other sword's just dark. And it's all about revenge. And as I think back on my 2025, how much revenge have I put out there in the universe? I want revenge for this action, for this action. I want this to end. Do I stick with the revenge, or do I stick with the morning star of a new dawn, of something new coming? Do I put that out there, or do I hang on to the revenge thing? I want them to pay. Yeah. I think that certainly plays a part in my awareness, and that is something to lose. That is something to, if there is a revenge cord attached to us, that is something to cut. Use a feather, use a selenite sword to cut, cauterize, and pack it full of love. Thanks for the awareness that it came, that was brought forth, and now it's time to move on to a new way of thinking. So let's see what the Work Your Light has to say. And this was a double again. This card just flew out. Well, one of these cards flew out, and so I pulled a double. Keepers of the earth, you are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. I've been feeling a lot of my ancient ancestors this year, really strongly, way stronger in this time, this year, than I did in previous years. It's like I'm walking around with a posse, with a team. That's my posse. All right. Yeah, this card is so beautiful. The second card we got, okay, transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing. Wow. Transformation. It goes with this fire, this transformation, this fire. And when we're going through this transformation, call on our guides and angels. Somebody was asking me the other day, she was saying something about asking her angels for help, and she's never done that before. And I went, oh my gosh, how often do we forget to ask for help with our angels and our guides? And I think it's kind of fun to play this. It's not a game, but to just work this light is, if there's something that you want changed, something really simple, like, I don't know where my keys are. Ask your angels, can you show me where my keys are? And then I think go into hermit mode a little bit and get quiet and see where they show up. And they show up pretty quickly. And that's one example. You can do it, a lot of people do the MBOs, and they'll do it for parking spaces. And you go, that's just silly. Parking spaces? Yeah, well, what I'm going to do mine for is for people to be nice to me and not yell at me when I'm in a parking lot. And they're not going to take, almost crash into my car to take a parking space that I've been waiting for, or I'm not going to get all triggered by it and just move on and have an even better parking space. And that's just silly. We're asking angels for parking spaces? That's just silly, but they're there to help. They're there. It's like, come on, give me something to do. That's what the angels are saying. They're kind of whiny like that. Come on, give me something to do. So let's give them something to do. Okay. Here we go. This is Starseed Oracle. You're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness. Face your true north. Embrace your weirdness. So on this Sunday with Spirit, is it good to call you all weirdos? Is that okay? I think yes. Embrace it. And so, yeah, we are not for everybody. I was saying this to somebody else who was stepping into their awareness. And I said, have discernment on who you share your weirdness with. Because when we first step out of the closet, so to speak, we are really fragile. it's like, oh my gosh, we're really naked stepping out of that. And so you want to be in a place that is very safe, that people will support you in your weirdness as you come out. And then as you get stronger and stronger in your weirdness, then you can step out and talk even more. Some people will listen, some people won't, and it's not for us to convince anybody. Well, me anyway. Other people want to convince. I'm gonna show you what for. Okay. The last card we get from our Ancestral Path Tarot. Hey, 2 hermits. We get the Hermit again. This is a little different hermit than this guy. This is the first hermit that we got, angels and ancestors. And this hermit is more of a solitary guy. This hermit is more like, let's go inside. Where is it? Well, I guess it is. It's just the inner peace that they're finding with this energy here. But this energy feels like this card. They're both standing on a cliff. And when I look at this card, I go, this is like the Fool. He's on a cliff. He's got his little bag there. Morning Star. Okay, so he's about ready, it feels like, to jump off the cliff. But he's an old man. And his lantern is lighting the way behind him. So it's kind of like a reflection going back to look at the past and seeing what has transformed him into this wise old man. And this hermit is also, because of his wisdom, is also associated with the magician and the strength of the emperor. So, the wisdom of the emperor, the creation of the magician, and the wisdom of the hermit. So I guess that is why that was in the center, because it embodies everything here. He's seen the fires, he's seen the morning star. He's seen the revenge, he lets it go. He sees the transformation, and he understands that he is one of the keepers of the earth. And he's by himself, he's not for everybody. But he has the inner peace, 2 inner peace cards. So I feel like that is something that we move into the new year that will be important for all of us. Certainly important for me to make the time, to make the effort, which is weird, effort to find inner peace. Shouldn't it just come? Well, it should. I just should on myself. It should, but it doesn't. So I have to make the time. I have to work at finding the inner peace. All right. This is fun spread. Thank you all for being here on this Sunday with Spirit. Enjoy the holidays however you celebrate them. I hope you find the inner peace and inner love during this holiday season. And I appreciate you being here in this circle with me. Peace and love.